hold on. Scratchy?
Yes, neighbor. Yes, neighbor.
Central Westmoreland was never in play.
I mean, neighbor, I would agree, neighbor. When you look at Central Westmoreland, neighbor, with a George Wright, neighbor, with all the things that come up on George Wright, neighbor, Central Westmoreland stand with George Wright right through like night Jew, neighbor. I believe that George Wright is, neighbor, probably our strongest Central Westmoreland is our strongest part of Westmoreland. If we were to get one seat, it would be Central Westmoreland. And Danny Lawrence again, neighbor. Danny Lawrence look wonderful, neighbor. Danny Lawrence, he be surprised me myself, neighbor. And the reason why I know Danny Lawrence have some strength, neighbor. We saw earlier in the campaign, neighbor, or even before the campaign, where the party leader was making changes in certain constituencies, neighbor. And despite the minimal amount that Danny Lawrence won that constituency by, the Prime Minister didn't budge to move Danny Lawrence. So that showed that Danny Lawrence has some strength down there in that part of Westmoreland. When you look at now, James now, who has come over from the People's National Party, switch a leader and run as a councillor for the Jamaica Labour Party, won his seat as a councillor, and is now as the candidate for going for Member of Parliament. I think Jamaica Labour Party has found themselves back in Western Westmoreland, neighbor. And I think James can also do well and bring it home. Definitely. I believe in James right now going forward in Western Westmoreland. So neighbor, Westmoreland itself looks good.
Dexter.
Yeah, yes, neighbor. Go ahead.
You are from Westmoreland, sir?
Central Westmoreland, yes.
And Central Westmoreland was never in play?
No, Central Westmoreland was never in play. And I tell you the problem that the JLP had in removing Mr. Wright. It's not that it wasn't contemplated, but they couldn't remove him because the people were demanding that he stayed there. The people.
You mean when he was independent?
Yes. They couldn't remove him in all of that fiasco that took place because the people were demanding that he remained. The people.
But that's not. If the PNP cannot tick off, I'll give it at least 2 seats in Westmoreland. Then we don't even need to cover this election. I'm going to tell you the truth. If they can't tick off 2 seats down there, so.
And they are thinking just like you are thinking, neighbor. They know it. They understand it, and that is why you see the confusion that is setting in among them, because they know that if they can't.
No, man, somebody need to. Hello, can I get a lemonade or something? This is a scratchy.
Not. It is not.
Yes, neighbor.
I'm coming back. Talk to Dexter. Yeah. I need to get a.
Next one can continue. You continue, Dexter, man.
I'm just saying, Scratchy, that they know as well as we do that they can't scratch off any seats. Right now, the only seat that they thought they could have won was Eastern Westmoreland, which is now saying that we're going to support somebody who is from among us. That's why you see that support for Danny Lawrence has ebbed up so dramatically, because the people are now settling on that, we need somebody who is from among us, and we're not going to sell him out for anybody who come from all the way from St. Anne. But as I said to him, Central Westmoreland was never in play, because it is the people who have demanded that George Wright remained as Member of Parliament. And the love for George Wright in Central Westmoreland is something that is tremendous, It's tremendous. The people love him.
Next time, what do you think about Hanover last night? You saw what happened in Hanover last night?
Yes, I saw that, yes.
What do you think about that?
I think right now the JLP has closed in on Hanover. I think with bringing Oates on board, I think it has changed the outcome there. The Hanover seats now has moved from being competitive to settling on at one seat marginally. I'm going to say marginally for one particular seat. I won't name the seat, but marginally for one seat. But it's a garner for we have certainly won Hanover for one completely, but marginally the other one will come through. And I'm not going to really name the seats. But I think Oates has changed the narrative there, the political narrative in Hanover, and he has impacted not just Eastern but Western also. And we see where those 2 seats will be coming home for the JLP.
And next time we saw where the opposition leader went down there in Hanover 2 times. Did he get this response? Did he get a response?
No. The response from the people towards him is less than impressive. We have seen where he has gone there, and the people really they have not gravitated towards him. The last time they had their meeting, especially especially in Western, which they're claiming to be their stronger seat, we saw where they had it in a small location, and the number of people who were there, wasn't anything to talk about. And this is people who are coming in to see their leader, you know. So the leadership from Mark Golding has not been getting the kind of traction in Hanover that and I hear too that he's been talking about it privately because the last time he was in Western, I heard he was saying that he was cursing that that's what they invited him to. It was shameful.
One thing I noticed too, the extent, that's how I really know that the PNP is really on their backs,
Yeah.
Opposition leader have to be visiting these constituencies 4 and 5 times.
Yes, he has been. Yeah, he has been all over. And it is instructive to note too that in Hanover, the councillors, the PNP councillors, they have not showed to be people who the parish can depend on to drive the kind of development that the parish needs. And I think the win the win during the parish council election is now backfiring. It's a good thing for the JLP in my view, because now the people are seeing that the PNP representation is substandard and is less than, and so they are now looking back to a Tamika Davis in Western Hanover and saying, you know what, we perhaps need to keep her there because she seemed to be the better choice for the parish.
And next time, I heard another lie before next time. I know you know the politics.
Yes.
That next time, this 2025 election, going to this election, do you think that there's certain, because we know the politics, that we know we might have some candidates stronger than some, like the candidates who you think on the Jamaica Labour Party who side who might be a bit weak now. Do you think that right now the Prime Minister have that effect where him can bring them over the line?
Well, we see the response of the Prime Minister on the ground, and the Prime Minister has been visiting constituencies, and he in some cases he's been ending up at locations at wee hours in the night, and the people are still there waiting for him. They didn't pack up their bags and say, let us go home. So it shows that the Prime Minister is resonating on the ground. It shows his strength on the ground. And it shows that a lot of these candidates will cross the line on his coattail. The impact of Andrew Michael Holness is going to bring a lot of candidates, even the ones that we consider to be weak and are in competitive seats. The impact of Andrew Holness is going to bring them across the line on election day, because we have seen how he has crisscrossed this country and how the people are resonating, how he's resonating among the people, not only among JLP people, but people across the political divide and people who are no peace at all. We see how children have been running. Listen, one of the mark characteristics, of somebody who somebody who people are gravitating towards, a leadership that people desire, is when you see children, running to them, And we're not talking about JLP, children from JLP family. We're talking about children from PNP family too. I recall a video where a youngster was telling his mother, imploring his mother to vote for Andrew Holness. She was a PNP woman, but he was telling her vote for Andrew because he sees his future in this gentleman. So you are correct, strategy. A lot of these seats that are marginal and are competitive, a lot of them will go across the line as a result of Andrew's coattail in the election. I think he's resonating well with the people, and that is evidence in the fact that he's visiting constituency and people are standing out there in wee hours of the night waiting for him.
Yeah, well, Dexter, I checked with the source inside the PNP. I could not believe me ears just now that Westmoreland is almost locked up for the Jamaica Labour Party. I am understanding that there are concerns in the West. As a matter of fact, they are more than a little concerned because there was a time when they thought that, you know, those seats were checked off. But I understand it remains competitive.
It is going to be competitive
Yes,
in some
definitely.
seats. And I mentioned one in part. I didn't name the seat because I don't want to name the seat at this time.
But quite
But
frankly,
there's
quite frankly, if the West is competitive, the PNP is in very big trouble of losing
very
this
big
election.
trouble. I agree with you.
Badly.
I agree
Because
with you.
if they can't carry those Westmoreland seats and Hanover, they are not likely to make inroads in the east or in the center of the island. Those are the strongest PNP parishes.
Yeah.
Neighbor, Mark Boland has been to Hanover 5 times, you know, neighbor. He has been to St. Mary 5 times. Central Kingston 4 times.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Now, my understanding is that they cannot tick them off, and that is. I understand.
Neighbor, you know, somebody in the chat said that in the comment section says Westmoreland is still strong for the PNP. Now the PNP has had deep roots in Westmoreland. There's no doubt about that, right?
Yes.
Among especially the older folks. The problem with the PNP, especially in, say, let me just zone in on Eastern Westmoreland, their problem is candidate choice. Had they settled on, say, a Dr. Hall, it would have been a more competitive. I mean, it would have been problems for Danny Lawrence and the JLP.
You're saying Dayton is not an attractive candidate?
No, he's not an attractive candidate. He's not an attractive candidate. The people really don't want him. You know, if these people are, if you go into Eastern Westmoreland and you talk to even the comrades, they want somebody who is from among them. They'd rather to have a candidate who was born and bred in Westmoreland, and even not even so much Westmoreland. He was even born and bred in St. Elizabeth, which is on the border. They would have.
That's how rural Jamaica is. That's
how they think. That's how they think.
Exactly the extent. That's how rural Jamaica is.
And so it's not that so if a Dr. Hall was there, or the guy who lost it, who had it, Buchanan, and it would have been a different, we would be having a different conversation. But right now, as it is, Danny Lawrence is a more attractive candidate than Dayton. Because you know what they're saying? This guy grew up in White House, born in White House, grew up in White House, carried on his business. Danny Lawrence, yes. Had his business in White House. You know, they don't think, and this is what they're saying on the ground, they don't think that they should sell out a Danny Lawrence for a guy who traveled all the way from St. Anne. And when you listen to them, you know, they keep repeating it. Do you know, and asking the question, do you know how many parishes you have to cross to get to Westmoreland from St. Anne? Why would we want to sell out our own for somebody who's from St. Anne? And this is the argument, not just among Labour Party people, but among PNP people and people who have traditionally voted for the People's National Party.
Yeah. Now, Dexter, let me take you a little broader then.
Yes.
Across the island. Why do you think that? Because it is clear, Dexter, that the Labour Party is not losing this election at all.
No.
That voter sentiments is with the government.
Yes.
And it is turning against the PNP as the election increases. It's clear that the momentum is with the Labour Party. Why do you think that the Labour Party is so dominant in the politics at this time? What is happening?
I think largely the people have seen the Labour Party as a performer, especially this Andrew Holness administration, as a performer. You know, the party has performed. The party has put in the work. We have seen the development in the infrastructure. When we speak of infrastructure now, neighbor, we're not just talking about road, because people tend to think that infrastructure just, you know, is just roads we're talking. We're talking about water infrastructure that has been put in place. Some of these constituencies that has never seen water for over 30, 40 years are now getting potable water. People are getting potable water in their homes. We're talking about employment. We're seeing where more people are getting employed. You know, the unemployment rate has dropped down to a low of 3.3%, I believe it is. Yes. And we see where the economy has been working, because don't forget, there are a lot of people who, especially Jamaicans, who They really don't want to work for anybody. And so they have invested in a little small business, and the small business is doing well for them. You know, that's a big plus. And that's why when you talk to the business community, especially those who are aligned to the PNP, they'll tell you, boy, oh boy, you know, me a PNP, but you're right here, no, me not really no haste to change no government. I think the government is working, and we should keep them. The PNP is just not ready yet. So we see all of that is coming together for the JLP, and that's why the JLP is more attractive and become and is now such a political force to contend with in the country, because we're talking about not just that neighbor. This Andrew Holness administration has touched every single solitary facet, every fiber of this society. He has dealt with the elderly. He has dealt with the youths, both unattached and people who are working and educated. He has dealt with every single solitary facet of this country. Think about this, neighbor. You, as an elderly person, never worked or worked a little bit, but never got a pension. You under the solidarity program, he has reached out to those people so that they can have a little small income to pay their little light bill or buy their little food at the end of the month. So that's why the PNP is finding it so hard to reckon with Andrew Holness and the JLP, because they have touched not just one segment of the society, but they have been in all places as it relates to the Jamaican community.
Right. Well, that sounds fantastic. And Dexton, the party's campaign, I realize it's very optimistic. They are presenting an optimistic vision for Jamaica. Do you think it has resonated with voters largely?
Yes, I think it has. Go ahead.
The way they have executed the campaign so far. Talk to me about that.
It has resonated well. And I think when the JLP landed on the Choose Jamaica mantra, I think it is a game changer for them. Because what it is showing is that the JLP is showing us that that has shown us is that the JLP is gung-ho on developing Jamaica and putting Jamaica at the center of everything political in this country. The JLP campaign, neighbor, I don't know if you notice, the discipline, the coordination, and the fact that and the putting out of facts, not misinforming people, not giving them gimmicks, not giving them comedy, not giving them the gutter politics. It's informational. It is not dumbing down the people. It is letting the people understand that this is Jamaica and we are a great country. And if we continue to build on the platform and the foundation that we have laid, then we can make it the first world standard. We can get to the level of a Singapore. We can get to the level of the United States and Britain.
Well, I think it's a good mix between emotional resonance and reality. Because
absolutely,
if you want people to feel good, you also want to make sure that they are feeling good on reality. I think the opposite is true of the PNP, because I think they are only trying to make people feel good. Describe their campaign for me, Dexon, because I really think it is the very opposite of what you have described.
I mean, their campaign at best is very disorganized. It's a lot of confusion. It's very shambolic, if you ask me. When you look at them, there's no message. The messaging is very poor, if there's any. When you look at the take for example that meeting at Crossroads. Let's look at it for us. Nobody who watched that political rally, whether you were a member of the audience there or whether you were looking at it on TV, on the internet, or listening on the radio, came away with a policy position that the PNP was advocating. Absolutely nobody. It was all about music and dance and Mr. Crawford giving us some comedic relief. You know, there is nothing that came out of that meeting that you could land on and solidly say, this is something and consider that the PNP is advocating for, that we can look into. So they don't have a message. Their campaign is all over the place. Their campaign is one that is based on confusion. and lack of coordination. When you juxtapose that against a JLP that is organized, when you look at the meeting held in Halfway Tree, everybody was on message. Nobody veered. They dealt with they dealt with the portfolio aspect that they were given, and they dealt with it well. There was no.
Tell me
Go ahead.
something. Do you think that the population, because obviously you're marketing to people, how do you think the people are responding to both these two performances is maybe not the best word, but when the people of Jamaica look at these two, how you think they are responding? And I want you to bear in mind the culture in which we are operating.
I think what the PNP hasn't understood is that the voting population has changed. We have a more
you think so, Dexon?
Yes, I think we have a more educated, a more discerning electorate than what we had in the 1970s or even the 1980s, or even the 90s. We have people who are now making choice. And I tell you, neighbor, if you don't believe me, look at when these polls are done and look at the undecided voters and how large of a block that group is. And bear in mind that the undecided voters are usually the critical thinkers, whether you want to accept it or not. They're usually the ones who are the critical thinkers, the ones who they're not into the red meat politics like the Labour. Yes, they vote on issues. So, and you see where that block of people, over time, the polls have shown that they have gotten larger. So the voting population has changed. We have become more discerning. We are more educated in terms of the issues, and we more policy oriented. We want to vote based on policy positions. We want to vote based on how the issues that resonate with us and the issues that impact our communities. So the PNP has not grasped that, and when you look at their campaign is geared towards their base. The things they say. You go out there, you put out the political red herring without facts. That's for the base. The base will take that up, and the base will run with it, and it is turning off the undecided voters.
Are you saying to me then that the energy, the enthusiasm that you see at PNP meetings, that does not transcend beyond those that gathering?
Yes, I am saying that, and I'm saying that based. Let's look at the Danandis poll. Let's look at the last Danandis poll, and look at the undecided voters. The data in that poll reflected that the undecided voters are now leaning. They're getting the number has been reduced, and they're now leaning towards the JLP. That right there, neighbor, is evidence that they are not gaining any traction beyond their base.
I agree.
The PNP.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Just 1 point on the poll. The Don Anderson is saying that in September last year, the PNP was 9 points ahead, and now there are mere 0.8 point.
0.8, yes.
0.8.
Yeah, of a percent, yeah.
Isn't this fantastic news for your party, sir?
It is more than fantastic, because what it shows is that the JLP is in ascendancy and the PNP is standing still at this point, if not being overtaken by the Jamaica Labour Party.
But to erase a 9 point lead, Dexton, going for a third term, and to do it in less than a year, that's amazing.
Yes, it is beyond amazing. It shows largely that whatsoever the JLP is doing and whatsoever messaging they're putting out there is resonating with the people, and the people are now pausing and taking a look at the JLP and saying, listen, maybe we should settle on voting for them for the third term. And
and considering that the poll was taken before the election was announced, I think.
Yes, it was. Yeah, the poll was done before the election was announced.
Yeah.
So that data was collated before the poll was actually. the election was actually announced.
Right. Well, Dexton, I'm sure we'll talk some other time next week, maybe tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
Thank you so much.
Before I go though, neighbor, I want to just attest to what Scratchy was saying regarding the West.
Yes.
And when you look at the West is looking good for the JLP. In
Okay.
St. Elizabeth, I suspect
By
that
the way, are you part of the campaign team over there in the West?
no, no, I'm not a part of the campaign team. Right now, I'm just with Mr. Wright, Mr. Wright in Central Westmoreland, because we are determined to bring Westmoreland, Mr. Wright, back into Parliament, whether people like it or not, whether the civil society groups like it or not. We are determined to bring him back to Parliament. He has served us, and he has
Okay.
served us well. And we are not going to swap Mr. Wright out for anybody who
Uh-oh.
is coming into the politics not to serve the communities that make up
Uh-huh.
Central Westmoreland, but to serve themselves and their interests. Mr. Wright has shown us right here in Central Westmoreland that he is the man for the job. And neighbor, we are going to make sure he has put his application in. We have vetted it. We have looked at his resume. We have looked at his experiences. We have looked at his achievements, and we are putting him back. We are going to give him the job. That's where I'm
Can
at.
you get Mr. Wright to talk to me, sir? I'd like to
Yes,
talk to him.
yes, I'll have him come on to your program and talk to him, because you should talk to him, because Mr. Wright needs to sell himself, because he
Yes.
has done very well for the people of Central Westmoreland, and he has stood up for us. He has
Yes.
stood up for us in his darkest times, and
Oh,
we're
yes.
gonna we're gonna award him for that. We're gonna make sure he's handsomely rewarded at the polls for that.
Well, fantastic. By the way, before you go, Dexton,
Yes,
the Labour Party is going to be in the West this on Sunday.
this Sunday. Yes.
Yes, and they say they're launching the manifesto. The PNP is suggesting that this is a bad idea. Do you agree?
It shows the confusion that has beset the PNP. Because look, let's look at this, neighbor. And to your listeners, where did the PNP had their manifesto launch? Do you know?
Well, at one of New Kingston's most prestigious hotel.
Pegasus, that you and I couldn't just get up and walk in there.
No,
You
sir.
see?
You have to,
So yes, so I don't know what the PNP is putting out there, because what could be a better place than to launch your manifestos among your supporters at a rally?
uh-huh.
it, it,
Well,
it, it is your workers, it is your supporters, neighbor, that is gonna bring the message to the people. Where else you should go lock up in a ballroom at the Pegasus with some guests that are
yes, sir,
exclusively
but
invited.
the PNP is suggesting that you don't do that. You don't take the manifesto out of Kingston. That the Labour Party is wrong. You should not do that. Why? Why are
You know what?
you taking the manifesto out of Kingston?
You know what? Listen. I think the PNP has bigger fish to fry, and they should try to fry those fish. They should leave the JLP to carry on their campaign as they best see it. I think what the JLP is doing is a correct thing. The rally is there to bring the people together, and the workers and supporters of the party are the ones who are better, are best placed to bring the message across. And there is no better place, in my view, than to have the manifesto launch right there in. And you know what? Anybody who wants access, I just at this, neighbor. Anybody who wants access to the manifesto in Kingston, or if you're anywhere in the world, the JLP has improved their website. And I don't know if you have looked at it, neighbor, but if you have some
No, I
time,
haven't
go in
looked
and
at
look
it
at
yet.
it. Yes, it is very interactive. It is very interactive. It is so interactive that a baby can go inside there and manipulate that software. So if anybody wants to have access in Kingston or anywhere in the world, when the manifesto is launched on Sunday, they can go in immediately and get access to the document. I don't know what bone the PNP has to pick, but as far as I'm concerned, they have bigger fish to fry, and I hope they're able, because next week, neighbor, and I tell you, next week is going to be something to watch. Keep your
Uh-huh.
eyes fastened on the days coming next week, because the
What?
PNP will be. I'm telling you, feast your eyes on the days coming next week, because the
Yes?
PNP is going to be in a tizzy, and they're going to have some fish to scale and some fish to fry. I say no more on that one, neighbor.
They're gonna have fish to scale, sir.
Fish to scale and fish to fry.
Well, I don't like that. I don't like.
And I hope, neighbor, that they have enough oil to fry those fish next week.
Why I tell you?
Because next week is going to be a game changer in the politics going into the next election.
All up at school, I said, well, I'm to a ribbon, them say Andrew cut it. I could not believe. The way them under pressure.
Yes.
Them just a walk a cut ribbon. What the hell look at 2-year-old come from school with bubbles alone?
Bye-bye, sir. Take care of yourself.
I said, well, I'm to a ribbon, them say Andrew cut it.
Take care of yourself. Here, next time. Nice talking to you.
Oh, good talking to you. Good talking to you, neighbor. And I implore the people of Central West.
Them just a walk a cut ribbon.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I implore the people of Central Westmoreland to go out and give your support to Mr. George Wright. He has worked on our behalf. He has been impactful in the constituency. He has been railroaded by the Westmoreland Parish Council, but he has persisted, and we are indeed grateful for his service. He has come there and he has shown himself to be a man of service, and we intend to keep him as our next member of parliament. God bless your neighbor, and I hope I wish you all the successes in the world.
Work on Mr. Wright for me. Let me come talk to him.
Yes, I'll have him come and talk with you.
Fantastic stuff. You hear that? By the way, sorry. Is Natalie there? Natalie, are you there? Are you there, Natalie? Okay. Is Winston there? Winston Tucker?
4 days ahead of a scheduled meeting.
Winston. Sorry. Good afternoon, Nadine, Natalie.
No, I'm going for the program. I don't know.
Right.
Jesus.
That is interesting. Are you there, Winston? No, Winston is not there. Well, then let's go to oh, Casey's here. Let's go. Casey's here. Let's pick up Casey and see what happens. Casey's here. Is that Sean?
Yeah,
Sean?
blessings, neighbor.
Good afternoon to you, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not sure what's the topic at hand here, but I was over live the other day, and they were talking about there was some young lady who was removed from some property and then given a 3-bedroom house afterwards or something like that. And within the live, they were saying that crown lands are not private lands, that something of the sort, like they were trying to say that people cannot be removed from private lands or something like that. I'm not sure how accurate that is, because I'm here looking at the Constitution, and it's there's a section of the Constitution that speaks about the right to property, and it is saying that there is a section here. It says that the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms, there's a 2011 amendment, and it says section 13, paragraph 3, subsection J. It says every person has the right to protection from the compulsory taking of property. This means private property cannot be taken without lawful authority and fair compensation. Squatting violates this principle because it amounts to unauthorized occupation of private or state land. So I'm not sure, and people are in agreement that
people were in what? People were in what, sir?
In agreement, saying that a person cannot be removed from private property. But the law
because they don't read the Constitution. The Constitution everything where you say basically self-explanatory. It basically explain everything.
Mm-hmm.
You basically tell us except squatting. develop on private land or government land that's illegal.
Exactly. So
And those persons over there so were moved from the land. I know why you talk about Clifton, those persons were squatting.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's PNP propaganda, man. I saw them stay, man. Them not
I
read.
know. Yeah, I know, and you know, it was a very heated debate, and I was trying to get up there so I can, because a lot of times there's a lot
A
of
good thing you never go up there because them still don't believe you.
even though I'm reading from the Constitution.
Even though you read from the Constitution, they still don't believe you. So anything with them comrade leader tell them that allow.
Exactly, because my thing is, you know, there's a lot of undecided voters, right? And if you're going to use propaganda and falsehood to try to paint a narrative as to convert those undecided people to your party, I think that's an injustice to the Jamaican people. If you're going to convert somebody to be a supporter of what you believe in, at least have some facts to support it, or some truth. You know what I mean? And I wasn't given the opportunity to make that aware, because a lot of people are not privy to the Constitution, or they don't even try to do a Google search on the laws themselves. A lot of people would rather to sit on a live and listen to what individuals are propagating. You know what I mean? And I find it to be an injustice to the undecided voters, because it's a critical time, you know?
I have to go, my brother. Casey's coming in. Casey's coming, all right? Therefore, if you want to contribute, then we have Cash App, and we also have Zelle. We ask you to go to the page right now. That's your neighbor, hello neighbor, and send us a message, and we can send you the information so that you can make a contribution to this segment here. Okay. Casey.
Hello.
Yeah, Casey. The other night when we were on, we went through a number of constituencies, and you made a point about the West. I want to take you back to Western Jamaica, Casey. You saw what happened in Lucy last night. There are 5 seats over in Westmoreland. Casey, how important are these 5 seats to the PNP's prospect of winning the election? Talk to me about that.
Well, they are of utmost important, neighbor, because
everyone of
the People's National Party can ill afford to lose one.
Not even one?
Not even one, neighbor. Not even one.
But
they must sweep Hanover and Westmoreland if they are going to win 32 seats.
I know
these seats in Hanover and Westmoreland are more likely for the People's National Party to win than there are only 7 more likely seats for the People's National Party than those of Hanover and Westmoreland. So
across the island, there are only
if they should lose, sorry, there are only 13 more likely seats for the People's National Party to win than those 5 across Hanover and Westmoreland. So if they should lose any of those, if they should lose one of those, for instance, come through with 4 out of 5, their tally will be 4 plus 13 at best.
Yeah. That is just where it is, Casey.
That is just where it is, based on the political dynamics as far as seat count is concerned.
Right. Now, you have established that. Are they winning these seats at this time?
Never, as I tell you, based on my work, I haven't picked up any safe seat across those 2 parishes. But
Okay.
based on what I'm picking up, it's obvious that the JLP were ahead in those 5 seats in 2020. Forward 2023, 2024, the PNP have either recovered and gained traction or the JLP descended. But since, I would say, Easter 2024 to now, it's the JLP that have been gaining traction across the island, and the West is no different. As you can either, all right, let's use the Dan Anderson poll as an example. In those time I mentioned when the PNP were gaining a lot of traction, maybe last year, April, May, the PNP were leading as much as by 9 points across the island.
Yes. That's
now,
what Anderson.
according to that Anderson, they're in a statistical dead heat, which tells you that they have surrendered any advantage they had in Hanover and Westmoreland. Because what I will also tell you, neighbor, when Dan Anderson would come and tell you that the PNP have a 9 points lead, those polls would have been skewed. Those polls would have been deliberately taken in the areas where the PNP are strongest. And I know that because I was privy to information from different polls.
Yes.
Yes, so the fact that Dan Anderson has the PNP in a statistical dead heat now, that has to be where the PNP are in terms of Hanover and Westmoreland, because they are not shoulder to shoulder with the JLP in any other parish.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you something. It is hard to argue. This to me is massive political news. All right. So Casey, of these 5 seats in Hanover, in Westmoreland, let's go to Easton, where Dave Brown is. He's up against Andrea Perkis of the People's National Party. How do you see this one? Where would you lean this?
And as I tell you, Dave Brown is a 3rd-term MP. He's going for his 3rd consecutive term. He has never lost at Eastern. He won Hanover Eastern.
All right, listeners, we are in the West. Casey's telling me that the PNP must sweep the West. The West, wherever the West goes, the election goes. So, who is winning the West? Casey's going to be telling.
Yes, neighbor. Sorry about that. Yes, as I said, 3rd time. This is the 3rd campaign for Dave Brown. He have not lost in Eastern Hanover. He managed to win Eastern Hanover in 2016 when we seem to be at a statistical dead heat. That's a result you get from a statistical dead heat. The stronger team win constituency like Hanover Eastern. And I think Dave Brown and the JLP are the stronger team in Hanover Eastern. And I lean at JLP for that reason. I think Dave Brown have more help because his party is more popular and his leader is also more popular and will be a factor. Wherever you see these seats are at 50-50, Andrew Wellness is the tiebreaker. And there's no doubt about that.
Yes, and so of the 5 seats in the West, KC, I mean, I want the listeners to come up quickly, so I don't want to 10 of the 5 seats in the West: Hanover Eastern, Hanover Western, Westmoreland Western, Westmoreland Central, and Westmoreland Eastern. You are saying that 2, you are giving the PNP 2. You've given the PNP Western, and you have given them Eastern in your last forecast. You have given the Labour Party Central and also Eastern.
I had Western, Western Hanover, Western Hanover, and Eastern Westmoreland leaning PNP.
Eastern and Western.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's 3-2.
Eastern Westmoreland and Western Hanover.
Okay. Okay. So it's you have given them only 2.
Yes. Because Western Westmoreland is at a statistical dead heat, or was at a statistical dead heat a month ago. And if anything, Dr. Garfield James seems to be gaining more traction than Ian Hills. So if you have to lean Western Westmoreland, you would lean it to the Jamaica Labour Party. And that shows that over the past 6 months, the JLP have been the one getting traction in the West, especially Western Hanover.
Well,
and I told you before that the JLP MP Morland Wilson was challenged not only because of incompetence or disgruntled labor rights in his team. Whoever challenged him must have seen an opportunity to win the seat against Ian Hales, because the JLP in that constituency was strong. And they showed some strength in the local government election, even though Westmoreland was that kind to the JLP in that particular election. Western Westmoreland was established as the strongest. They were even stronger than, they even performed better than Central Westmoreland. And I'm not surprised that Dr. Garfield James have got things together and is giving Ian Hales a real fight. And if anything, the longer this campaign goes on, the stronger Dr. Garfield James get.
We have Casey with us. As I have promised, if you want to get some information for your constituency, then I'm going to ask you to send us a request, and I will put you up so that Casey can answer your questions. We are taking questions on our
Good afternoon. Hello.
You are here to ask a question, sir?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What I'm seeing in Hanover is marvelous, because I used to live in Hanover. I'm from Spanish Town, but I used to live there. My daughter was born in Hanover. But what I see in the Western Hanover, it's a miracle, KC, because when I was there, when you see PNP coming through, Lucy, if you're a Labourite, you just have to stand aside and watch. And what I'm seeing last night in the town, Lucy, is ridiculous. It was marvelous. I can't believe so much people is in the green column. So I'm saying it looked good. I don't know the votes will turn out, but I'm saying it looked very, very good. What do you say about that?
Well, as I said before, there are no safe seats in Hanover or Westmoreland. And if the JLP is at the strength versus the PNP that they were in 2020, take back all they going into the election with. And Western and Eastern Hanover are among those seats. They are in the JLP column. But based on what I've been picking up over the last 6 to 8 months, the PNP seems to be in Westmoreland, Western Hanover.
No, you're breaking up, Casey.
You're breaking up.
No, not here in Casey at all.
6 months ago, the JLP appears weakened in Western Hanover. They have recovered. They have found their strength, and Western Hanover is a battleground. Once more, I lean it PNP for other reasons. Just the traditional support over the years. I've gone to PNP, and the fact that PNP seems to be strong in Hanover, and I know that the JLP is stronger in Eastern, so most of their strength must be in Western.
Can I tell you this? When I was living in Hanover, if as popular as the Prime Minister is right now, I'm telling you that when I was living there, if the Prime Minister was the Prime Minister at that time, I will tell you, you would never see that amount of people there that I saw last night. You would never.
Yes. That adds to my point. That adds to my point that traditionally Western Hanover is strong PNP.
Yeah, man, it was shocking to me last night, man. Especially in the town. You understand? The areas that are among the strong areas in the JLP is like in Dias, and a little bit out of the town where you call Malcolmites there. So yeah. But otherwise, from them two places there, it was a no. So, may I tell you, it's a good look, man. Great look. Never good. Great look.
And look here. The fact is, both Hanover constituency are battleground constituency. And if Hanover Western is a battleground, it shows the strength of your party. So take what you can take from that. I cannot call it a safe seat for Tamika Davis because I don't see it.
Okay, but
it has been leaning PNP for several months. And the JLP have recovered strongly. May even have the momentum going into the election. So it's important where we will put Western Hanover next week, Thursday, or next week, Saturday. But really and truly, it's a battleground. And if you watch our forecast from months, it have been leaning PNP, and we have established as a battleground constituency now. And Dave Brown in Eastern Hanover is also a battleground constituency, and that one we think is leaning to the Jamaica Labour Party. Tamika Davis is our first-time MP. This is our second campaign, and that's a good sign because the fatigue will not set in on her supporters because she's still relatively fresh. And as far as experience is concerned, she's still more experienced than Heather Miller. And she's with a team, which is Team JLP, which has a lot more to offer for the people of Hanover Western. So she's clearly in the ascendancy going in, still has work to do, cannot sit on her laurels. She have gotten good strength from the party leader. So let's see how it goes.
All right. So
all right, my son. All right, take care.
Yeah. All right. Big up.
Let's have some other calls. Let's answer your questions in terms of what is happening in your constituency. What information do you want from KC? He's here with us. Who do we have next? Celia James. Celia James, are you there, Celia? No, Celia is not there. All right, let's do Fabian. Celia, are you there? No, we end that. Fabian, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Casey's listening. Go ahead.
You hearing me?
Casey's
Yes.
listening.
I'm asking about Central St. Mary. What he has to say about Central St. Mary?
Ask him. He's right there. Go ahead.
Mr. Casey, good afternoon, sir. I'm asking you what is your outtake on Central St. Mary?
Well, Central St. Mary is very interesting. And the thing with the parish of St. Mary, it normally shows good support for the People's National Party. And that has a lot to do with Central St. Mary. Central St. Mary have always give PNP a base, kind of a base across the parish. And no matter how resounding is the JLP victory, the PNP seem to come out victorious in Central St. Mary. So no doubt Central St. Mary, as far as history and tradition is concerned, is a plus for the People's National Party. What I can tell you that the strength the JLP are showing in Central St. Mary at this point is showing how strong the Jamaica Labour Party is across the parish and and by extension across the country. Fabian, I cannot tell you really and truly that Nathaniel Maraj will have the numbers, because I didn't get that indication from the last general election, neither the last local government election. What I can tell you that based on the traction I see Nathaniel Maraj getting, he is surely challenging. And for that reason, I have Central St. Mary in the battleground column. It's not in a safe seat column for the first time, for the first election in my forecast. All the elections I have forecasted before, Central St. Mary was in the safe seat column for the People's National Party. Now it's out, so there's endless possibility. And if you look at the poll, because I do have a poll considered forecast. I don't know if you know. I do watch the poll. I do listen to the poll. I do read the polls and try to analyze the findings myself. St. Mary keep on showing up marvelous numbers for the People's National Party, or should I say good sign, in the polls, both the Blue Dot poll and the Dan Anderson poll. And it's always easy to lean Central St. Mary to the PNP because of the overall strength of the PNP in St. Mary. But from the last Blue Dot poll, I realized that the Blue Dot poll has St. Mary Western, with the PNP has a 19-point lead in that particular constituency. So the PNP is not so strong in Central like they were before, or like they are expecting to be. But I expect it to be one for the books on election night. Nathaniel Maraj seemed to take on this politics thing like fish to water, and he has a chance. He has a chance. However, I will point out that Dr. Dunn and Robert Montague is in a better place than Nathaniel Maraj. And if Nathaniel Maraj should come through, the JLP will sweep St. Mary 3-0. Maybe for the first time, if not the first time in 45 years. So
thank you so much, Fabian.
You're looking good over there in Central.
Yeah. Lowell?
Yes, Fabian.
Okay.
Lowell, your time. Go ahead. Lowell, questions we're taking for Casey.
Yeah, man. Good afternoon, Casey.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Good afternoon, Casey. I think.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm in Western Hanover. You see, and I think Tamika Davis have a great chance. However, my interesting seat to you, sir, is Central Kingston. What do you think about that one?
Okay. Central Kingston seems to be heading back to Donovan Williams.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Well, if you say that, sir, as a man on the ground, I have to work. So I only have neighbor. Thank you for having me on your show. A friend of mine at work introduced me to this show, so I just want to big up the Princess Hotel in Hanover. A friend of mine introduced me to your talk show, neighbor, and I
think about 6 months ago, Kingston Central was fertile ground for the People's National Party, and they need to.
Yes, I also think so too.
They need to revamp the organization, and they needed to make the right call. And they have made some bad call, and they have dealt with the organization. They have destroyed the head of the organization that they needed to revamp.
Okay.
And they have created enemy instead of fixing friends.
Wow. Well, I can tell you this, Tamika Davis will win back Western Hanover more than she won it last time.
And that's good. That's good to hear. And if you listen to my forecast, the platform is laid for that, but it's not a foregone conclusion. The work need to continue. I think it's in the ascendancy.
Living in Western Hanover, when you hear about election, PNP always dominate. I'm not telling you about giving the Labour Party a chance. I'm telling you about dominating. And if it's 50-50 now,
I already made that. I already made that point, and I really speak about that over and over in my analysis.
Yes. So,
if the listeners of Western Hanover really listen attentively, they would realize that what I'm saying is PNP is stronger traditionally in Hanover Western.
Yes.
The PNP have showed great strength in Hanover in the local government election, in which Hanover Western is stronger PNP than Eastern. The JLP have recovered across the parish. And while I put Eastern and Dave Brown in the JLP column because I think the JLP is more likely to win that, I haven't ruled out a victory for Tamika Davis, and that's why it's not in the PNP safe column. And I said over and over, if Tamika Davis return her seat, the JLP is likely to win at least 49 again. I didn't say Tamika Davis will not win.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there are a lot more seats that are more likelier to go JLP than Hanover Western.
Well, Casey, based on what you say about Central Kingston to me, I'm calling it for a landslide for the Jamaica Labour Party, 51 seat, yeah?
Okay.
Thank you, neighbor, for giving me a chance on your show.
Thank you, Lowell. Thank you, sir. Well, Casey.
William Horton.
Yes, Casey.
Hold on, William. Hold on, Casey.
Yes, neighbor.
I see a supporter of Tamika saying you have never had a good talk about her. You always say she will not win.
Yes, it's based on what she understands.
Yes.
You know, it's people like her that makes our job of winning harder, you know. Because the complacency sets in, because they want to hear all good things. They want to hear that they will win. And that's not how I see it. And I can guarantee you, no Jamaica Labour Party seat that I tell you that will win will not lose. So if
you are
they work like I do,
that you predict the Labour Party will win, they will win it.
Yes.
Wow. Listeners, you hear that? Casey is saying that every seat that he predicts the Labour Party to win, they will win. Hold on there, Casey.
Yes, because I will not predict the JLP to win a seat if they are not in the clear. And if she have been listening to the program, she would have understand that.
Yes.
So I don't rule out Tamika. I'm just saying she's not in the clear. Is she willing to come up here and say Tamika is in the clear? Or Tamika is safe?
Well, quite frankly, I've been trying to get Tamika on the program for the last 1 month. I've been made promises that she would come, and I don't know what's happening to her team. She's refusing to come. I don't know why. She's been to other places too. Anyway, we are doing what we need to do. By the way, listeners, we have another 24 minutes with Casey thereabout. If you want to support the program, then look at the screen. There's a live goal there. Yep. And we have Cash App and we have Zelle. Do you need those? Then send us a message on this page. Just indicate that you need a message, and we will send those apps to you so you can make your.
God riches on me. She's an attorney at law, for Christ's sake. Somebody says she seems to be shy.
No. As a matter of fact, her office did tell me that she'll be coming, and I haven't gotten her. So please, guys, you have to tap the screen and share the live. We are at 53.1 likes. My goodness, and there's 600 people watching us now, and you're not supporting the program at all. That's not good. Anyway. Go ahead, William. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, neighbor. Big up, Casey.
Big up, Mr.
First of all, I must say thank you, neighbor, for having me on your program.
Thank you for coming.
Your program is the #1 program on TikTok, man.
Is that so?
It's running them red.
Who them are run red?
The rest of them over. Them not listening. Nobody not listen to them, man.
Is that so?
I'm telling you.
Well, I didn't know because I don't know because I'm here, so I can't know what you're telling me.
Yeah, man. Whenever time you're strolling through, man, everybody's on neighbor.
Is that so?
I'm telling you.
And we can't get any likes? No.
Yeah. So Casey.
Big up my cousin Kayla, KK1 Gaddy.
Yeah, Casey. My question is I'm from South Trelawny, right? And I want to come down to support Nerissa Dalrymple. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, I always think that Nerissa Dalrymple will win. I think South Trelawny is a safe seat. I think Miss D is stronger than Paul Patmore. And that's what I think based on what I know about the constituency of South Trelawny. And I think she has been a very good member of parliament over the years. Paul Patmore, one from the JLP organization, is very liked in South Trelawny and some parts of Manchester Northeast. The danger with Paul Patmore as a candidate, because in every election there are upsets. And not because I predict a seat to be safe. If there's a big swing that I miss, because we all can miss things, the seats could fall. And for Paul Patmore, if Paul Patmore is an effective campaigner, he's somewhere over in the Larimer's division, which is the JLP's strongest. I think he lives there. I know he does business over there. And if the JLP is expected to get a 700 vote lead in Larimer's, and he can cut that based on the results of the local government election, the leads in the other division is not so strong. So he could cause some problem based on the numbers of the local government election. We both know though people vote different in general election.
Right.
And if Nerissa Dalrymple Philibert keeps her support in the Larimer's division, she will be handing Paul Patmore a political backsliding.
She will.
If Paul Patmore happens to flip the Larimer's division, it could be interesting, but I think Marissa Dalrymple Philibert will still win. And when I spend a day on this, because I spend a day on each constituency, William, at no point in that day, I come to the conclusion that Paul Patmore can beat Marissa Dalrymple Philibert. So I keep Trelawny South in my safe column for the JLP. But when I'm doing the numbers, I didn't forecast that people overseas who want to vote will not come and vote. So I also checked your vote in my forecast. So if you need my forecast to be right, you need to come and vote and do what you need to do.
Neighbor.
Because in my forecast, I forecasted JLP supporters to vote and the PNP supporters to vote.
Yes, man, the ticket already. It's 5 of us coming down.
When you land on the island, you call me. You hear, make sure. Make me know say you're there.
Man. Certainly.
As you landing at Norman Manley?
Yes, man.
Yes, as you land there, so you text me and say, neighbor, I'm on the island. All right, sir?
Okay, I will, neighbor.
So where in South Trelawny are you voting?
I'm from Albertown Division, so I'll be voting at the Queenland Primary School.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that's it. Casey, there is a listener asking about Delroy Chuck's seat. I don't think we need to waste any time on that, do we?
No, Delroy Chuck is a sure winner.
Neighbor, you can take me down now. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. All right. Is that Sean? Shaw? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Who is on?
Shaw? Sean Country Style? Country Style? Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. No, not hearing him. All right, listeners. So we are taking questions from your constituency. Good afternoon to you. Oh, Lord. Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, shit.
Hello? Hello, neighbor?
Hold on, Des.
Yes, okay.
Hello, this is Sean. Back on you.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm overseas and I'm coming to vote, so I want to know about Northwest Clarendon and Warren Newby.
Northwest Clarendon, Warren Newby. All right. Go ahead, KC.
Warren Newby is in a battleground, Sean.
Listen, sir, listen.
Warren Newby is in a battleground. So he will be victorious if he gets all the votes he can get across the constituency. He appeals to more voters. He's the only one of the two candidates that would appeal to voters that are undecided. While the PNP's Richard Azan is dependent on the PNP support in Trelawny, in Clarendon, Northwestern.
No,
Warren
in
Newby.
Spalding Division.
Yes, and there are PNP support across the division. More in Spalding, but there are PNP support across the division.
Reaching,
So,
Thompson Town, Frankfurt.
yes, but Warren Newby will also need to better those numbers, because one thing I can tell you, those PNP supporting Riches and Spaldings and the few in the lesser percentage in Thompson Town and Frankfield Division will definitely come out. Richard Hazard knows how to get them out. Warren Newby seems to have a bigger number at his disposal, but he needs to get them out. Anywhere over the world they are, he needs to get them to the polling station to vote on September 3. And he will be victorious, because he can reach a number that Richard Azan cannot reach.
Yeah, that's true. Did you know that more Labour right in Northwest Clarendon more than PNP?
Yes, I just established that.
In
I just said
Frankfield
that.
Division, if Frankfield Division come out 100%, all when they had a 3 division matchup, you can't match up the Frankfield Division. I've been working that seat from Cliffstone come right up.
Yes, and Cliffstone did lose in 2002.
Yeah.
And Michael Stern did lose in 2011 and 2016.
Yeah, that's my.
So what I'm saying, he need to.
Warren Newby in the seat from way back when. Most of the.
Yes. So he needs all the votes, because if people sit and talk like this, complacency will step in, and that's a constituency that you have lost 3 times in the last 5 elections.
No, we are dig up all the vote. Right now, Friday, about 20 people come down for vote for him already. So we are dig up all the vote over here, send them out.
You dig up all the vote and send them out.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Me coming down Monday.
You're coming down on Monday?
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic, sir. All right. So thank you so much for calling, sir. That's Warren Newby in a with Richard Azan. Every vote is needed here. All right. Thank you so much, Sean. Battleground for Warren Newby. He's gonna have to pull out all the votes. That's KC's forecast. We're going on to Des now. Good morning. Oh, Des, good morning.
Good afternoon.
Wait, one second. Let me address my JLP friend here. JLP girl. I don't know if you work for Tamika Davis, but I suspect that if you do work for Tamika Davis, you would work as a runner, because you're not showing that you have the potential to work anywhere else in the organization. What I said is that Western Hanover is a battleground seat, and if I forecast a traditional PNP seat to be a battleground, it shows that the JLP is doing something right there. It's no secret that Tamika Davis was underwater for the last 2.5 years. I've seen the numbers.
Yes.
You have seen the numbers. We've seen the results of the local government election. Yes, the JLP have recovered. Tamika Davis seems to have recovered somewhat. She can win, but there's still work to do. I don't know if you guys come on this program to hear somebody say something you disagree with, then to keep on arguing in the comments. You can, if you don't understand what I'm saying by just listening and making your observation, you can come in the box and have a conversation. I'm sure we could trash it out in 2 minutes. You could get 2 minutes. You don't have to send a gift.
All right. As a matter of fact, why don't we try and get Tamika Davis on the program? Why don't we? Taking your questions today. Casey's here. There's a little tit for tat going on with Tamika Davis. Or what I suggest is that Michael Perlu, she's going to shame us, Casey, that we're going to be ashamed.
We will be happy if Tamika wins. I will certainly be happy if Tamika wins.
Yeah. All right. Des, go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Not bad at all.
Great program, man. I will listen. I know I share my view one time, and great information, and I'm learning a lot. I love politics so much, but I'm one of them coming down to vote. So my flight is next Monday, the 1st. Yeah, I have to do it, and I have to protect my future. I'm trying to move back home soon, so I have to make sure I secure that. It's looking good for JLP. I'm in that column. I'm a South Trelawny voter. I used to be a North Trelawny, but because of the demographic of it.
Yes. Go ahead with the question, though.
No, yes, I mean, I'm careful about, like, I'm not South Trelawny, but I'm more intrigued about the North Trelawny, Tova, Hamilton, because I know they have a runaway guy from Westmoreland come in town. So I'm really intrigued about how North Trelawny going to show and what's going to happen there.
Casey, North Trelawny, what's happening there?
Yes, North Trelawny is another battleground seat, is another one we're unable to separate. And the reason why we're in this predicament, North Trelawny have a strong traditional PNP support, and they seem to be revitalizing, their base seems to be alive down there. As far as the JLP is concerned, North Trelawny is not one of those strong PNP seats that didn't have JLP support. As a matter of fact, North Trelawny will lose year in, year out with a bigger numbers. That's what South Trelawny win with. So North Trelawny seems to be a bigger and more populated constituency. So it always has fair, decent JLP support too. And this time around, it has an incumbent MP that have proven to the people that if they give the JLP a chance to work in the constituency, there would be some infrastructure development. They will have somebody who takes care of the people. And North Trelawny, when I speak to people from North Trelawny, one of their deepest fears is losing Tova Hamilton. So I know that they will be coming all out for her. Another thing is the People's National Party, Dr. Wicker McNeil, he knows how to win. I think he won in Western Westmoreland 5 times. He certainly have the resources in terms of human resources, because there's a very strong JLP organization over in North Trelawny, and he certainly has the financial backing. So it's a lot of factors you have to think about when you're forecasting a constituency. And if I tell you Tova is not leading by a long stretch, that doesn't mean she's not going to win or she have not been a good MP. I just give you the reasons why it's tight, because it's a numbers game. And it's a very tight one. I've been unable to lean it for quite a while now. While I will say that Tova Hamilton deserves to be MP again, she has been a very good MP. And to be honest, with Dr. Wicker McNeil, I'm not knocking him. North Trelawny is not, he don't sees North Trelawny as his political career. He sees it's part of his retirement, because he retired from politics when he lost in Western Westmoreland. He said he was not interested in running in representational politics again. His good friend and former state minister in the Ministry of Tourism, Damien Crawford, said that right here one Saturday morning on this program. They asked him to run, and then he agreed to run for North Trelawny. So it's not close to his heart. He has spent 5 terms in Westmoreland and lost, have no real legacy. So he's running for running's sake in North Trelawny. And I think Tova Hamilton and her supporters have more passion and have a plan for North Trelawny and want to take it somewhere. So I think they deserve the nod. But it's a numbers game, and I have to call it as I see it. It's 50-50 at this moment. It's a battleground.
Wow. You're correct, You're correct, I was on the ground last week, I was there. So I'm from that area. Now based on what I'm seeing, I don't think McNeil is popular there. They're not accepting him as you would expect them to accept him. He's just there to win for the PNP, and that's all I see going on here. So with that now, the enthusiasm of the PNP is not so strong as I think it should be. Because I know PNP is Trelawny is a PNP, North Trelawny is a PNP country, as they say, especially in the Falmouth area. But based upon the ground when I'm there and talking to my peers and the PNP supporters, they're not feeling McNeil as they wanted to feel it. So with that, a lot of them say they're not going to vote. So based upon me on the ground, that's what I see. So I just want to get some clarification. But thank you very much, though. That's all I got. You make sense, Mr. Bossman.
All right.
There you go.
Take care, sir. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Boy, the lines are 1 mile long. People wanting to ask Casey questions. We're 5 minutes to 1 o'clock. Please remember to tap the screen. That helps us with, the TikTok algorithm. Also share the live. Share it to your friends. And if you look on the screen, there's a live poll. If you can help us with that, that's great. If you are in the diaspora some say, and you want to support the forecast, then we can send you our Zelle account or our Cash App to Hello Neighbor. Look where the message is and tell them to send that information to you. You'll get it in minutes. All right. Thank you to the moderators that are helping us to, run the program today. Jamaica Girl, Caroline, thank you. All of you that have made a contribution today and in the past, thank you so much. O'Shane, you're next. Go ahead, O'Shane. No, then that is Red Dog. Good afternoon, Red Dog. Red Dog?
No, next level. I'm not talk to no dog,
Okay. Prime Global, you're coming up. Prime Global.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Prime. Hi, how are you, man?
Fine, thank you. All right.
Yes.
I'm interested in if that was held by former Mr. Peter Phillips, because he's still the MP. And Mr.
Okay,
Bunting.
that's
what is the Casey analysis of those things?
Well, he's right here. He's going to be able to tell you that that seat is actually East
Prime Global. You mean East Central St. Andrew?
Yeah, man. The one it's a Vasta seat. Is it candidate?
They say no hassle with Vassal. Prime Global.
Are you saying that he's looking?
I'm saying that.
Okay.
St. Andrew East Rural. It's my dark horse constituency, and I told neighbor before that, based on the work we have to do for St. Andrew East Rural, analysis on St. Andrew East Rural is not going to come free,
Tell them.
All right.
It's a very dangerous constituency, and a lot of things are happening in that constituency as we speak.
But I know that.
And that constituency, you see, let me tell you about that constituency. It cannot be analyzed. When you investigate, you realize that you have to analyze it different from the other constituencies. It's known as a JLP, as a PNP safe seat, a PNP battleground. Not battleground, I'd say a PNP bastion, because it was known as a PNP garrison. Majority of the vote normally comes from one division. The other division that follows is a JLP division, but the percentage in the PNP division is normally bigger. That PNP division is a garrison division. Things have changed. There's a third division in the constituency that PNP have been getting most of the votes. If you look at the numbers in the last general election, PNP won that division by I think it's 30 votes. And that division seems to be swinging JLP heavily now. That's the Ugly Part division.
But
while JLP have won the Kasha Part division by 700.
But let me ask. let me ask you this. And
no, let me finish, because I'm also, by answering you, I'm also speaking to the others, you know.
All right.
Yes. While PNP, while JLP won Kasha Park by about 700, the PNP would have won Agley Park by about 30 votes. Then the Maxfield division would have wiped out that 700 and give the PNP a win by about 900. This time around, things are looking as if the JLP will win Agley Park by about 500. So things are very interesting. If Davian Vassar can cut the deficit in the Agley Park division by about 300 or 400 votes, in the Maxfield Park division, by about 300 or 400 votes, things could be interesting. Things could be very, very interesting, but let's see about that.
Yeah, but the question I wanted
it's not a safe seat anymore. It's in play.
The question I wanted to ask you is, and it's a long stretch, might border on wishful thinking, but it is possible. Nothing is impossible. Let us say
the moment
let us say Mark Golding had a very strong competitions. The JP place a very strong candidate in Mark Golding constituency. Would that have a positive spin-off with for Vassar?
Yes, but let me be frank with you. I think placing a strong candidate in that constituency would be wasting that candidate. You need a strong candidate in the constituency you're aiming to win. What his team needs to do is work on the borders effectively.
Okay.
And know all the political tricks and trade.
How about the
yes. But I get what you're saying, Prime Global, and you're onto something.
How about Mr. Bunting? I will come over to Mr. Bunting.
Okay, you want to take two constituency, Prime Global? Okay.
Well, at least if it will.
You mean you're interested to see how Peter Bunting? All right, let me tell you this. So Manchester is very vibrant, has very vibrant JLP support. It has a larger PNP base traditionally. The JLP won it by close to 1,000 votes the last general election, but the JLP have done some damage to themselves in that constituency. They seem to recover. I think the recovery is late. I think the PNP went in and started to do the recovery work before the JLP. I think they were maybe complacent, plus they had infight, and what they did was place the advantage to Peter Bunting. And look, we can say anything we want to say about Peter Bunting. We know that he's not deserving of Parliament. And it would be nice to give Ian Ives a chance to see what he can do. But it's a numbers game. And the PNP seems to have the edge in South Manchester. But South Manchester is not in my safe seat for any constituency. The PM got awesome response down there. I understand that Ian Ives is getting a very good response. The supporters of Adrian Peart and Robert Chin have come together and are fully on board on Ian Ives' team, and it's going to be another battleground. As I told you over and over, I keep on telling you, there are no safe seats in Manchester. And all of the constituency in Manchester are up for grab. And PNP will not just win because it's Peter Bunting. To be honest, he's not fresh. He brings anything. He don't bring anything new to the table. I think the JLP just handed them a chance by not being united over the past year or so. But it's a very interesting seat. It's the only one in Manchester, I think, the PNP was leading in up to last week, though.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Taking some more questions for Casey before he has to go. Carl, are you there? Carl? Carl? Are you there, Carl?
Soon talk to you, neighbor. I'm driving. I'll soon talk to you. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll soon talk to you.
All right, me and my neighbor. Come in.
Looking for labor. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Casey's listening. Go ahead.
I know we said they're calling to say.
Yes. I believe that too.
I
believe that too.
Yes.
And when I was asking the chat to give me 4, I was expecting Crystal Lee. I was expecting Alanda Taylor. I was expecting Favor, and I was expecting RJ Marks.
Okay, great. The meeting just below my gate. I won't be able to attend, but it will happen. I'm sure I'll hear them. But work is still going on because it doesn't stop after the date is announced. Work, even you have to ramp up. And I know Crystal is doing her best. And I'm voting. I'm going to vote for her to make sure it happens.
Which of the division you're in?
Sturgetown.
And who's your councillor?
Brown. Claudette Brown.
Oh, so there are 2 Brown. There's Claudette Brown and Kim Brown.
Kim is in Brownstown, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, you take care. Continue to do your best. And a neighbor, we have to have a drink, somehow we have to arrange it. You want to do it after the election? Yeah? Can we arrange it?
No, ma'am. I don't think about tomorrow. I need to drink today.
Get me down.
Yes, neighbor. All right.
Urban Henry. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Henry.
Carl, mute your mic.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.